Coffee, coffee, coffee. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hunter Swift. Today, we're going to do a update video to my previous video about the Intrepid GEO 2.5. Now, before we dive into the video, I always want to say that I am not sponsored by Intrepid. Intrepid is not paying me to make this video. All the opinions are that of my own. If you didn't see that last video, I suggest you don't go watch it because it was really poorly made. My bad, sorry about that. But just to recap what happened, I went over the pros and cons of the tent, all the things that I loved, the features, the size, all the stuff that makes the Intrepid unique. And then I went into the cons, which two things. One was not a big deal. It was a fading of the UV or the plate that says Intrepid on it. It was a UV fading. It just didn't look good. That's all. It was kind of nitpicky. But the big problem that made me question whether or not I was going to keep the tent was water intrusion. So tent's closed, mounted on the vehicle, you're driving, go through a rainstorm, water gets inside of the tent somehow. I don't know how it was happening exactly. I think it had to do something with the seals or the sealing of the tent itself. But essentially, I told the story in the last video. I'll tell it again real quick. I got the tent set in the garage over the winter, put the tent onto my truck come spring. Tent was on the truck for about 2 days. I opened it, closed it a couple of times. I drove to go camping. I went through a rainstorm, probably 45 minutes worth of driving through the rain. And when I got to my campsite, which was dry, I opened the tent and there was water soaked into the mattress in certain spots. I didn't think a ton of it other than I was like, that's concerning, but new tent, new owner, could have done something wrong. I could have screwed up. Could have had fabric inside of the seal or something like that. So I just wrote it off as like, maybe this was a mistake and let's see what happens moving forward. Come winter, tent probably really got closed around September, October time for the last time. Commuted through snow, rain, sleet, just like the post office. I made it to work every day. And then I came around to springish time frame again, opened up the tent for the first time, and it was like a rainforest. It was literally raining off of the roof of the tent. The sleeping bag that I left inside of the tent was completely ruined. It was covered in mold, had to throw that away, had to clean the mattress a bunch to get the mold off of it. Inside of the tent I had to clean, it was not good. So, contacted Intrepid, and the customer service was very lackluster to begin with. It was taking several weeks to get responses from them, and ultimately I think at the end of the video where we were at was that they were giving me instructions and materials that I needed to purchase to fix the tent. It was either right before that or right after I made the video. I can't remember exactly, but ultimately that was what the outcome was at the time. I am not a picky person, and ultimately I would have been like, okay, no, like I'll try to figure this out and fix it. But when you purchase something that's like $3,000 to $4,000, you kind of want it to work the way that it is, and you want the company to stand behind it. And that was where I decided to pull out, I guess, my Karen card, if you want to call it that. I just kind of stood up for myself and basically said, that's not acceptable. I don't think, at the very least, I know other rooftop tent companies, when they have problems, they will send materials and tools to fix the problem if it's something small to the customer for free. So them not even being willing to do that, I thought it was silly. I spent a little over $3,000. I know they're over $4,000 now. When you spend that kind of money, you want the company to stand behind them. So I pushed back and ended with, I got a phone call, I think it was like the next day or 2 days after from them, from one of the guys in customer service. And we chatted on the phone, and ultimately it came to, we're gonna replace the tent. You're absolutely right. We're gonna stand behind our product. We're gonna replace the tent and have you send back the old one. They sent the tent out to a local dealer. So all I had to do was pull in, they took my tent off, put the new tent on. I checked inside, made sure everything was good, and then I drove it home. That was probably October of last year, I think, is when I got the replacement tent. So tent, again, sat during the winter, went through commuting through the rain and everything. In the Seattle area, obviously lots of moisture in the air. Tent lived on the truck through the winter, opened it again for the first time in, I think it was March, and I can happily say that there was absolutely no moisture inside of the tent at all. In conclusion, I think if you had concerns about Intrepid from my previous video, I don't think you need to have them now. I've been taking notes on the pros and cons of the new tent, things I like and I don't like, and I will have a full or a more detailed review video on that tent, so I'm going to save those details for that. But like I said, the issues that I was having in the past, I'm not having now. And I think you could purchase an Intrepid and know that they're going to stand behind it with their warranties. But I can say that the water intrusions and the other problems seem to have been fixed with these new updated models. If you enjoyed this video, consider hitting subscribe. I make videos whenever I feel like it, but I will do my best to try to get some more out here sooner. And like I said, I will have a review video soon.